Hello everyone! The yeast is affected by a number of factors, and in this experiment we will determine which factors affect the activity and growth of the yeast. The main goal is to observe the growth of yeast in different solvents and places in the fermentation process. At the end of the experiment, I will be able to answer to these questions. First, how yeast will grow and in which bottle balloon will be bigger. Second, which factors will affect the growth of the yeast. So for doing this experiment, I will need 4 small, clean plastic bottles. So then I will need 4 balloons for each of my bottle. So then I will need 4 packets of the yeast, 1 for each of my bottle. So for measuring 2.54 centimeters of the liquids, I will need a ruler. Measuring tape, I will need these for measuring the diameters of each balloon at the end of the experiment. So for my bottles, I will need 2.54 centimeters of the liquids for each of my bottles. So my liquids are cold water. So here I'm boiling the milk because my second solvent is hot milk. And for other 2 bottles, I will need hot water. For each of my bottle, I will need 1 teaspoon of sugar. So okay, first of all, I have 4 bottles. So then I should add 2.54 centimeters of my liquids to my bottles. So here I marked 2.54 centimeters for each of my bottle. And here I named each of my bottle, like first, second, third and fourth bottle. So I am adding hot water to my first bottle. So as you see, I am pouring my liquid till the marked place. So again, 2.54 centimeters for each of my bottle. So for my second bottle, I'm adding cold water till the marked place. For my third bottle, I'm adding hot milk. So finally, for my fourth bottle, I will add hot water. But in the end, I will put this bottle to the dark place, while other first 3 bottles will be in the light place. So this is my liquids. So I'm adding each of my packet of yeast to each of my bottle. I'm doing this action for each of my bottle. My next action is to swirl the bottles for a few seconds. So here I added a packet of yeast for each of my bottle. Next, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of sugar to all of my bottles. So then I should swirl up the bottles for a few seconds again. I'm repeating this action for all of my bottles. So here I will need 4 balloons. First of all, I should stretch my balloons. So I should blow up my balloon several times for stretching it. So I'm doing this action for each of my balloon. So now I'm placing each of the neck of my balloon to each of the neck of the bottles. So I'm repeating this action for each of my bottle. Now I should put each of my bottles sit in the place for 20 minutes. As I said, I put my first bottle to the dark place, while I put my 3 other bottles to the light place. This is my balance in the process. Finally, after 20 minutes. Now I'm going to measure the circumferences of each of my balloon with the measuring tape. So now I'm going to analyze and compare the growth of yeast in different liquids with the help of balloons. My first bottle with hot water has circumferences with 16 centimeters. And the growth of yeast in my first bottle is normal. My second bottle with cold water has circumferences of the balloon 17 centimeters. The growth of yeast is a little bit smaller than in first bottle, but not bad. My third bottle with hot milk has circumferences of the balloon 31 centimeters. Growth of yeast in this bottle is the highest. My fourth bottle with hot water, but this one was placed to the dark place and has circumferences with the 17 centimeters, and the growth of yeast is just like in first bottle. So at the end, I want to say that my hypothesis was wrong. I said that in first bottle with the hot water, they will be the greater circumferences of balloon, but I was wrong. The milk has the greatest circumferences. And from this I understood that the high temperature affects the growth of yeast.